right.
All right.
Salute
Hello,
you.
everybody. Welcome to SK
Yes,
Podcast.
yes, welcome back.
All right. Uh, my name is Kimberly Steinbrink. This is, what's your name?
Stephen Rosario.
Seeing if you know it.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
All right. Are you playing with your mic right now? Nah, man. Don't, don't we have a new setup and we have it
Man,
for a reason because technical issues want to make this
took a little
podcast
drag.
not, I like that. But the devil is in our equipment, y'all. I'm telling you, I feel the spirit of the devil and the CCP all in one.
The
All in one.
PCP?
PCP. Yeah, that's what it is. All right. Well,
No, for real though. On the technical difficulties, man, it is 10 o'clock. We tried at 8 o'clock to press play. That is the situation.
all right. They don't need to know nothing about that. All y'all need to know is that we are glad to be back. Um,
That's
if you forgot to subscribe or follow anywhere, I'm just giving you a little reminder ahead of time. Um, but I think we should just go ahead and jump on into it. So I know that people may have been feeling I'm the Twitter person here. I've mentioned that before. I'm the Twitter social media because that's my
right. All
thing.
that.
I was
Yeah.
thinking about this the other day. It's been at least 11 or 12 years, pretty much steady since the smartphones came out and everything. I just loved being able to get on, talk to people that were not around me. Sometimes sneak in work and talk to people that are not around me. And be able to send funny stuff. And it just started off that way. I got to keep in contact with everybody, and it just, everybody's addicted to it now. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, it's become a thing. Twitter came along. Actually, I was really late to Twitter because I frustrated me for a long time. I was pretty much a Facebook person until a couple of years ago. Then I built a really nice following with awesome people in there. At Twitter is only awesome to me because of the people that I follow and follow me. Besides that, Twitter can go jump in a lake, in my opinion. Um, but that being said, everybody seems to be jumping off of Twitter, which is, a good thing. It's good. Let them know, tired of their censoring and banning of people and suspending accounts whenever people tell the truth. Suspending accounts for misinformation for COVID vaccines with the person that actually developed the COVID vaccine doesn't make any sense to me. I know the Robert Malone and Joe
Joe Rogan.
Rogan.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Uh,
That
uh,
blew up.
that the Robert Malone and the Peter McCullough. I love that they were almost back to back, and just everything really in the last couple of weeks just seems
Well,
like
yeah,
a perfect storm of everything.
Rogan's got a large platform, so that's awesome that he's actually getting smart with it. You
Yeah,
know, I mean,
uh,
he's been on the game. I'm not saying that. And I haven't really
but he
followed a
has,
lot of his stuff, but I know he does come with some good interviews with some, some diverse people. So
yeah,
that's what I've liked about him. I've never been,
yeah. And even if it's somebody he disagrees with, like I don't agree with his politics mostly. I don't know if they've changed a little bit over the last couple of years, but I know he was actually a Bernie Sanders fan.
yeah, I did know. Yeah.
So
That's what kind of wrote him off in my head for a little bit. I was like,
but some people get sucked into
that Bernie
to the
thing though. I didn't get. I got the fact that it was a funny old guy. Oh yeah, Bernie. I get that, but that's as far as I ever got with it because it was like he was
he's
when you
promising to
actually looked
help
into
workers. He's promising to push
yeah when
the
you looked
minimum
into his
wage.
policies and then you got to
That's what they're
listen
looking
to more
at.
than 5 minutes of a response of
Yeah.
his policies from him. Oh, it was like, no way. I mean,
Yeah.
that's like a funny joke.
Yeah.
That's like a let's go Brandon kind of thing, like Bernie. Let's go feel the burn. Wasn't that the
Yeah,
slogan?
feel the burn. Oh yeah, it had the Bernie
Feel the
Bros
burn.
and everything.
Bernie
There
Bros.
was
That's what
Bernie Bros, even though I
freaking
mean, see,
dorks.
at the same time, see, I can be a person that would know. I don't believe Bernie Sanders made made the Bernie Bros. I actually believe it was actually that offset of Antifa that
Yeah.
infiltrated into Bernie's stuff, and then they took their own tactics somewhere else. So see, I am not going to blame Bernie Sanders for something other people did while supporting him.
Bernie almost snuck Antifa in. Yeah.
And we
he's kinda
could
what
do
Bill-
that based on the way that they like to put people in categories that should not be in categories when it comes to January 6th. You know, the way they've been treated for basically a lot of them just trespassing. Just I guess they got too close.
Yeah, well, I mean,
I
they
don't really know.
they haven't been charged for an insurrection, but they call them
Not one.
they
Or a
once
weapons
again
charge.
give them the label before they're supposed to, before a fair trial, whatever the
Yeah.
you know.
And I mean,
What's the word I'm
there's not
looking
even
for?
a weapons charge against anybody. I mean, nobody brought guns. There was people actually physically doing something, which is the people that I disagree with because that's not the way that you do things. And those are also people that, in my opinion, are probably the ones that were fueling the fire. Like Ray Epps. Uh, Ray Epps is the one that tried to incite the day before all the Trump supporters saying let's go in, and everybody was calling him Fed.
Yeah.
And then I'm sorry I don't have the video up for you guys. I didn't want to mess with the technical stuff today since like I said the devil is heavy in this room trying to mess with us.
Took over our mics and stuff.
It really did. And then video and then my sound, your sound.
Hey, don't you
Seriously.
just made it even worse.
You forget about our blind viewers that don't see us and all they hear is
Oh, they probably
I'm gonna get on him later. So
satisfied by it even more than I am. They're just like, dang, that was a good part.
I'm gonna get you to be
better.
a little bit.
No, he feels better.
Okay.
But excuse me.
Anyway.
Excuse
me. Okay. But something else. Didn't we have a person we feel is on our side recently call those people domestic terrorists?
Like recently,
Yeah, that's somebody that I was like, because to be honest with you,
I got that news 5 minutes ago.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It just popped up, and I'm like, and there's him with his words today because he said anniversary. So it wasn't like this is something that he said on the day when he didn't know anything.
No.
This is like, no, today after everything's come out.
It's a legit video, and he's sitting there calling it.
Condemn the domestic terrorism.
The violent. No, he said violent terrorists.
Terrorists. Yeah. Well, he said both. I mean, he said one. He kept saying it, and I was. Let's see. I'm trying to remember. Clay actually said something really good the other day.
We can. I mean, hey, people ain't gonna look this up.
And it is an anniversary of a violent terrorist attack on the Capitol, where we saw the men and women of law enforcement demonstrate incredible courage, incredible bravery.
Come on, this
risk
way.
Their lives.
This way.
To defend the men and women who serve in this Capitol. We're grateful for that courage. We appreciate the selfless sacrifice of the men and women who
actions we have taken thus far.
Anyway, that's Merrick Garland.
Didn't he say something right after that?
No, Merrick Garland's just trying to sound all tough, and he can't. It's like a little straining turtle.
Yeah, don't get me started with that. Like, how do you seem tough? I really feel like I could just push you over with like my finger.
Man,
but
Cruz, man, grew that beard for nothing.
And I mean, I don't get this. When we've got people who are coming up, who are definitely getting more and more popular, they're getting more popular with siding towards Trump style policies and Trump style, presence, and they're obviously wanting to think about probably a run here real soon, at least in their state, if not, a presidential run.
Yeah.
These are the things that we think about, and these are the things that we don't forget. I won't forget that, honestly. And I don't understand.
Have to answer for that. I mean,
what are you getting out of it? You're not going to get them to your side. You're not going to get them. They're not wanting to play nice. You need to get as many
Yeah,
people
yeah,
that are
that is
supposed
that.
to be how you believe.
Mhm.
You need to get those people and keep those people on your side. Listen, have good people around you that are not sitting there saying, well, we shouldn't say that because that would hurt this person's
Yeah.
feelings. We should say that because that goes against this guideline and that standard. And
Well, they've
da-da-da-da-da-da.
pushed to the edge. They've pushed to the limit, you know.
And
And last summer was their push to the edge, and now they're keeping the rhetoric up. Well, now we need, and what Kim's saying is, our rhetoric. We need to go ahead and push it. Like, yes, we need to push that there is spiritual warfare. We believe it. I mean, I know the people in Congress probably everybody will think we're crazy, but to our point, Cruz needs to. He should say, I mean, straight up, push it. That was not. We're not terrorists, you know. We're
Right.
not.
It seems like he's backing down because that's not how he's been talking lately. And this is where I start to not believe you. It's the same thing, and to be honest with you, like I love Steven Crowder's had him on a couple times. You know, that's my show that I watch, and so I mean I've seen him recently, and Steven Crowder has some really good questions, and I think he was, you know, of course he's talking about his bans and the big tech and pulling Section 230, and he's, you know, Cruz has gotten up into the Congress, he's made good speeches, or into the Senate when these hearings would go on, made good speeches, asked great questions,
Yeah,
and guess what?
yeah. Just
Nothing gets done. So he was asking him about that, and he's like, "Oh, can't had him back on." You know, recently he was asking him the same questions. You know, and he was talking about what all he was doing, who he was talking to, and then we're gonna do this, that, and the other, blah blah blah. And it's like I want to turn around and say, as great of an interview that actually was, and actually probably got people's questions answered, you know, you turn around and you basically stab those same people in the back when you do that. So everybody that you just gained to maybe be on your side the second you do that, it's like this. I mean, seriously, it's completely away. People see this. You can't talk your way around, well, I can make this person happy. And if I say this, then these people will stay happy. And maybe it'll get some of these people. No. Go into, talk to the people that you got into to the Congress to do. You got into Congress to help your constituents. Listen to your constituents.
Yeah.
Seriously.
If that would happen, it would be a totally different scene. And that's what I think we're getting rid of and busting open, you know, ever since the man Trump. And I mean, we're waking up. We're waking up and seeing
Even with Trump,
what
man. I think I was looking at Cruz.
We're actually seeing the things that we need to attack. Like,
Yeah.
we really kind of didn't know what to attack 8 years ago.
No.
You know, now we know exactly what to, and we're really learning quickly how to. And I'm optimistic about, 22 is going to be. I mean, we cannot let this fake crap happen again on this election cycle. Like, this is going to be our precinct committeeman, or, you know, that Bannon pushes, and is a great strategy. I mean, that's the localist level of government that you can get into. It's not really government, just local government.
I mean,
it's local government.
Something that you can start out and build like a platform
Yeah.
with.
Yeah,
you
it's
know.
not having to be you don't have to donate, or you don't have to pay like Republican to be part
To
of
be
that.
a part of it. Yeah, you have
Yeah.
to pay a certain amount in your campaign. And a lot of times it's because you're going with one party or the other. And, you know, so depending on how you run and who you run under, you know, it depends on how much.
Precinct committeeman strategy.com, maybe. But if you put that in, you'll get it'll pop up most likely.
Was that a website?
I was sending it to, yeah, it is, like, it's something long like this, precinct committeeman.
Something like that.
Yeah, something.
If we find it, we'll put
Google
it in
precinct
we'll put
committeeman.
it down here if we find it.
We got to use the tools while
Just
we
in
got
case.
them, you know.
Yeah, but you know, you can look it up, or different keywords that may sound the same. But I know what you mean. I this is another reason why I feel like voices like ours and other people who are starting to stand up and do more than just say, I don't like this and post on Facebook. I mean, it's funny.
We got to that, and we've memed it to death too. I mean, it's keep up with the memes, but
Yeah.
we have it's what's the next step after a meme?
But-
It's like we are calling y'all out visually, globally. Boom, you're called out. Like people are laughing at y'all.
So
Now what? Now we actually have to start getting some people in the offices that we, and getting local and getting these people in the offices that are actually going to do something, and we can see what they're going to, what they're going to do, and we probably wouldn't have noticed so much 8 years ago. Now
Yeah.
we know what we want them to do.
Yeah.
Because things have been busted wide open. All this stuff, they've gone at us. They have gone full blown at us.
yeah, yeah.
Now, this
And I mean,
virus is the last straw.
And I mean, talking about the talking but not the walking, people like, Kevin McCarthy.
You cannot suppress
Kevin
the
McCarthy.
debate on the virus. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
That's okay. So Marjorie Taylor Greene got kicked off of Twitter for stating, actually it was the VAERS website, but since it went against the narrative, it was misinformation of COVID-19. Kevin McCarthy tweeted out, which, he's in Congress. I was just talking about the big tech, with the Section 230. I mean, we really personally, I can't walk in there, make a speech, and then, have a vote like the people who are elected to represent us do. But then you got Kevin McCarthy. He's leader of the Republicans in the House.
Yeah.
Pretty high up there. He's not just like a lower level. He's like got a title. Okay. Man, he's posting on Twitter.
Leader of the minority.
Twitter banning Marjorie Taylor Greene is not right. And I'm sitting there going, so why don't you fix it? Stop giving us these little tiny talking points that you just keep throwing at us.
Mm-hmm.
Because we're watching and saying, you're talking, you're not walking, right? I mean, seriously, that's what you went there for. If I ran for an office, if I did, I would want to know why I came there, who I was serving, what they wanted, and I would keep that promise. I don't go from, well, if they say that, then they're over here. But then they say that, then they're over here again.
Right.
I mean, people got areas, and people can move back and forth. And like we said before, the way I can tell that I can trust somebody is when, especially if, so one thing is if somebody says something and comes back and says, I was incorrect, I was wrong. But another one is to just straight flip-flop. I can't trust someone that talks like this over here and then turns around and talks like this over here for these people. It's kind of like the people that go even on Fox News, who's really not on our side anymore. But people will go on Fox News, talk one game, and then they'll go on MSNBC, CBS, get interviewed there, and they're saying something totally different. Like, we're not going to see it.
Game talk on Fox.
They do forget about internet and social media, because before that, you had to catch the news. You had to catch it on something. You had to, hopefully they replayed it, or hopefully you recorded the news, And so they could kind of get away with saying certain things on certain, because maybe not a lot of people saw it, and you didn't get it shared and distributed in like an instant where everybody can see it right in the palm of their hand. Like, they forget that. And I mean, maybe it's a good thing. Maybe it does help.
It is a great thing.
Even just, I'm not saying Ted Cruz is a horrible person. We shouldn't do it. I'm not there yet either.
Yeah,
I just want to kind of say that I'm watching. I'm seeing who I want to push for, because I'm going to do a much better job this time picking a new president. Not because we wanted Trump in there. But before that, and the last few times, I almost didn't care to even vote, because I didn't care. I didn't like anybody that was in there. And it's like, I didn't want to vote for that person or that person. Yeah. And to be honest with you, I was like that with Trump. I was not on the Trump train at all, but I hadn't been paying enough attention. So, I almost didn't vote, but I did. I couldn't even tell you who I voted for. But this is the kind of thing I want to do it right this time. I want to actually pick the person that I believe the most true towards my values. And I'm not telling other people how to vote, but I'm feeling like if people out there feel like I do, maybe you and I will kind of go along the journey together about who should be picked for certain things.
It's definitely going to happen. I think we're going to have, we're already showing record numbers of poll watchers, record numbers of new
people want to
precinct
get involved.
committeemen and
Yeah.
people. Yeah, I mean, it's just blowing up, and I mean they're gonna get their voices heard either in the voting booth,
Yeah, and I
especially.
do. I mean, I'm not saying there's not going to be shenanigans going on, but with the presidential election, it's really going to show you something this next time because before this next presidential election and since the 2020 election, there's only been state and local elections. I mean, you really didn't have a lot of votes for anyone else as far as everybody in the United States voting for someone, correct? So that's where that happened the most. That's where you found out a lot that did happen in the last one, the last big one. And so with 4 years down the road, and already I'm kind of seeing, I think Georgia is like looking at somebody, they were investigating somebody that was paid to like ballot harvest like 250,000 votes.
Crap going on.
And this is actually an ongoing investigation as of like a couple of days ago as far as being announced. And this was by the same guy that, I still think is dirty, but that Brad Rassenberger or whatever it is. And
yeah,
I think that's his name. Butchered his name, I'm sure. But he's the one that actually brought that out. I don't know if, it's kind of like
Brad.
he had to. But, I think people are going to, it's going to be so much harder to keep people asleep and cheat during this last one. Unplug your phone. Because it's going in and out now. I told you our technical stuff is trying to mess with us, but we are getting through it. We are powering through. And y'all coming along for the ride. And I'm hitting my mic, so. Anyways.
No, there's going to be like a record number for a, what do you call them when they're in between the presidential ones? What do you call that? It's not primary. It's like the.
Well, are you talking about for presidential, but
No,
not the big?
Because in 2022 we're not voting.
Yeah, midterms. Midterms.
Midterms.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's how it made me remember. Anyways.
Midterms.
I told you we're just average people, right? I'm just not always just fully right up here to just grab and pull down and go through the mouth.
Record number of midterm voters.
Yeah.
Can't wait to see it. That's the thing that's exciting because it's like that's some local stuff.
Mm.
These people are getting involved. We're really gonna see the pulse of America right now on the election. Yeah. Come 22 elections.
And hopefully there will be those poll watchers that are going to make it even more of a stink if something does happen. And a lot earlier, I think people are going to notice stuff from the beginning where probably they pushed out of their mind thinking it wasn't really going to happen or that's probably not happening. I mean, there was a few things where there was what is it, like a memory disc or stick, and then all of a sudden I noticed it was gone. It was supposed to stay there. But then it popped back. I didn't think anything about it until later. And you're going... See, it's stuff like that is like, I'm sure they loaded some fake votes on there to be counted later. I'm sure that's what happened. Even though, it's not proven.
Allegedly, yeah.
No, this is allegedly. This is just my mind. See, if you don't give us actual answers to questions, we have to come up with something in our head. So, I mean, that's the kind of area that I go in whenever I haven't been told something fully and truthfully. You got to think, you got to put something up in there because you can't just be like, well, I don't know what happened, but we're just going to keep going with that. If it wasn't important, then yeah, maybe so. But this is extremely important. And I do feel blessed being able to be out here and be able to talk to you guys. I'm every day I do feel blessed that we have this show. And, I see it grow and I'm very proud. I'm very proud of our little show. For a small period of time, it really actually has done very good. Okay, enough patting on the back.
Yeah, really, man. Come on. Jeez.
All downhill.
Yeah. Yeah, for real. You just pop
y'all
bubble.
gonna come in just to watch us be dumb like this. You like to watch it.
No, we gotta get at least the topic of the day that is that day out.
Yeah. I feel a release. Less like the second I do. This is why I'm encouraging other people. Is you got a phone and a camera. If you just feel like you need to say it out to the world. If you feel like you don't want to do it on your personal account, make yourself an account. I'm telling you, it's fun and I enjoy it. And I want other people to enjoy it and feel like, I want comments too. Yeah. But I do, like, I'm not here being like, trying to keep the next person down. Like, I want to lift the next person up because I think it's going to be a big pyramid that's very strong, and you just kind of keep helping people, and whoever needs to go wherever. There was yeah. So we were. I want to kind of bring it back around to the GETTR thing. So okay, you have GAB and GETTR, which is now supposed to be, the free speech platforms, along with Parler and everything. And I've kind of, I really didn't even, get onto GETTR until everybody was moving. So here, real recently, I've, made our account on GETTR, and we're there for right now. But the stuff that I'm hearing about GETTR right now, I need to find out more, and I want to actually get a lot more, solidified answers to a few questions, because what I'm hearing is they're still banning people, and it's not number one. When someone says, especially in more of a public forum, so you can kind of get it out there, why did you ban this person? Even in a private conversation, a big celebrity that wants to move over there, someone that can bring a lot of their followers, because right now what GETTR does is they get all the celebrity blue checkmark accounts, and they basically bring your followers over there, and they have a really nice way to, he said, to like integrate your stuff from Twitter into GETTR. It's pretty much, just simple. It sounds like a lot of nice stuff, and when I go on it, it looks so much like Twitter. It feels so much like Twitter, and it's really cool. Until I start hearing, possibly, allegedly, because like I said, I want to dig into it, and anybody that has any information that they know of that I can look it up, I would really like to know. I mean, apparently so does Elijah Schaefer, because he's the one that brought up the question. He wanted to move to either GAB or GETTR, and he was going to move there. And I think he ended up moving there. He may actually have it on both accounts, but seeing how far we can trust the next big free speech platform, what are you banning people for? Because that does actually make a difference. There's categories that I completely agree with, but when we're going to use the broad hate speech claim, I mean, what do you consider hate speech? I mean, we are in America. We have the First Amendment. People can even talk about hating other people. I mean, you really can. You can say things, and you're not, and if you can't even tell someone why someone was banned, like in a private conversation, here's my issue, and I'm just wondering, and it doesn't have to be specific, but just even giving them an answer, just being like, no, I don't know. But that's, because he violated the term of service. What did he do? What did he say?
Yeah. I
And
mean,
they can't
it's
tell
like
you?
they're putting a scale on hate. I mean, hate is hate. And it's like when you got somebody that's going to start saying, well, that was more hate than that because that one was that color, and then that color can do that because it's a little less hateful. No, I mean, you can't do that. Like, so I'm going to steal your thing you said earlier, but it is freedom of speech. It's not freedom to be physical, it's freedom of speech. That's why I can bear an arm too, just in case you do get physical.
Exactly. You can
That's
protect
that's why
yourself.
it's
Like, it's the
number
whole point.
2. So it's like you can talk, but if you don't talk and you do something like this, I can boom, boom, boom.
Well, yeah, if you're going,
I
if
mean,
you're
that
putting
was
me
as
at risk
simple
of
as
dying,
them
and you're
dudes.
doing it, and you're in the act of doing it, I'm going to come after you in any way I can to save my own life, or save my
Or
family, or
family's
save,
life. Thank you.
and your
Yes.
property. Thank you very much. You have the right to your property, by the way. You don't have to give it up. Oh, so some of these
Like,
places.
if you don't know, if you're like me, and I don't know, I couldn't name out the Bill of Rights and give you a list of them, but
I started rereading the Constitution the other day from
it's
those
gonna
little
make me
pocket
do that. It's
constitutions.
gonna make.
You really start. Well, the thing
I
is
feel
I
like a
never
bad
fully
patriot.
read line for line. Like, I got the gist of all of them, a lot of videos and research in other ways, but I never just sat down and actually just read the Constitution. The little pocket constitutions that we got at the Clay Cart. I'm telling you, like, it was so cool because I like pulled it out. I'm like sitting there, nothing to do, and I'm like, this is cool. Good job.
Sorry.
Speaking of, thank you guys for staying with us and staying tuned. So we will hopefully be posting, regularly, like we just kind of started back doing, and We appreciate everybody that's been watching. I got to give another shout out to Clay Edwards. He's awesome. He's the person, kind of like I was saying a minute ago, and I love it because I felt this way, and then he was telling me this is what he wanted to do for us.
Yeah.
But give us a leg up, because I told him, I appreciated letting me come back on the show. He gave me a good long time to talk on his show, which locally, lots of listeners, and the listeners that we really want to reach locally in our community. He's allowed us to have a platform there and,
Yeah.
and
And
talk
if
to
it's-
those people.
If it's that many, that's what I'm saying. I wish they would get,
Maybe
into
so.
this,
They're
comment
coming,
thing.
they're
Come
coming,
on.
they're coming. So we're building up
Let us
content for them to
know.
watch. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Mhm.
It is fine. That's why I haven't been, upset when we put our first couple out and didn't get very much. It never bothered me, because number one, when people come to your channel, sometimes they want to binge watch you just a little bit, see what you like, and getting more content. I kind of like that, because I like to go to somebody, at least they have 5 or 6 videos that look like something interesting, something you can catch up on. So
Yeah.
something to watch, when you don't have anything to
we're
do.
kind of random sometimes. I like to, just on the topics. Like it'll
Like-
go to a different topic.
I like the
and-
one topics on these. These are
yeah,
good.
We can one topic thing it, but like today was a little bit of.
It was a little hassle,
everything.
and that's why I'm,
Were we talking about
we're just so much of a
Russia?
relief that we actually got
Ukraine?
pulled this off again this week.
Yeah, we got it.
Hopefully, I don't know. I kind of like the little layout that we got here. But hopefully I can fix the other layout, and we can have some fun little zooms. We're having fun
Yeah.
on the other side, off camera as well.
Mm.
But I want to tell you guys, we are on GAB and GETTR. We are for now on GETTR. No, but you can look for us there. You can look for us at it's all either going to be SK Podcast or SKP Cast. So you can always look us up that way. YouTube, Rumble, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, GETTR, GAB. Did I leave anything out? Patreon. I mean, if you actually want to, we're actually going to give some members only videos here real soon. We're kind of copulating of some blooper videos and things like that. We're gonna, hopefully, I'd actually like to work on that this week. Get those up there so that when you sign up, you can actually look at content that you can't even reshare. You got to watch on there, but it's something that's not even on here, and it's mainly being funny and letting loose. See a different side.
Anyway.
All right, guys. Thank you for tuning in. And you got anything else to say?
That's all
Okay.
you, girl.
See you later. All right.
All right.
Sayonara.
Yeah. We'll sign.
Guess what? another issue. Sayonara.